Howdy folks, I'd like to discuss the next topic, and that has got to do with what approximately 4 years ago happened. I made a movie about it. It was in 2010 that I was presenting you and reading out to you in Dutch, unfortunately, for you English-speaking people, about a finding of the NEMO Science Center in Amsterdam in collaboration with the Eindhoven University about the Urey Miller finding. What they did is those two science institutes, the University of Eindhoven and the NEMO Science Center in Amsterdam, what they did is the Urey Miller experiment, but in a prolonged version. That means that they zapped the so-called the estimated suggested primordial gases in the assumed and supposed primordial Earth atmosphere, and that they think and assume that it was 4 billion years ago on the Earth, and they zapped it with the current. And indeed, that's the Urey Miller experiment. And Urey Miller found after a week, 1 week, 7 days, and they found, yes, indeed, some amino acids. Everybody cheered. Yes, we've proven evolution. Yes, we've proven life out of chemicals. Well, University of Eindhoven and the NEMO Science Center, they said, well, let's do this experiment longer. Let's see if we get more complex molecules. So they did in 2010, around that period, or 2009 maybe. I presented it in 2010. And what they found is that after a month, maybe 2 months or so, they found pure charcoal. You know, the stuff you find in barbecues. And they presented that only in a local newspaper, the NRC Handelsblad, as we know it. It's a Dutch newspaper in the science page, and they presented it only a small article, maybe this big, and they presented it 4 years ago, and they said in that article that they want to do this experiment for about 5 years long. And they screwed down the intensity or the power of the electricity current zapping through those gases, and they let it run for 5 years. Well, this year or next year it's going to be 5 years that they have done it. So we are very curious, of course, of the results. But the thing is, the Urey Miller experiment did fail because there is no interactive force. If there is no life, then you cannot intelligently say, okay, and now I have some amino acid and separate it from the rest. So it's actually fake science. You take out the results only that you desire, and for the rest, you take it out in an intelligent time. They say, okay, and now I have amino acids, and for the rest, you discard the rest. But that's not the way how science is done, folks. It's a misleading way of experimenting, and that is proven by doing it again and a bit longer, as in natural situations would have happened. And the thing that you then get is purely unreactive charcoal, just the stuff that you find in barbecues. So a very expensive way of doing a nice barbecue, by the way. So that's what I want to share. But the thing is, it is this finding 4 years ago was carefully kept out of the big scientific media, and that's why I'm doing it here right now and presenting it to you right now, because this is a way of people who are dealing with scientific findings that deal with our origins. This is always what you find. Also the biceps BMO's findings of the polarized light that supposedly it traces back to the gravitational waves of the primordial Big Bang universe, but you don't find a lot of news, only maybe one A4 page of information about that the dust in the Milky Way is producing the same type of waves. Well, this is not fair science, folks. That if you find big time things, stuff that supposedly supports the Big Bang theory, or the evolution, abiogenesis evolution theory, then it's presented big time in the media. But if you find counter evidence, then it's not. Then it's just a newspaper article. Yeah, nobody knows about it, and this is the regular way of doing in the sciences that deal with billions of years and the origin where we came from. That is not fair science. That is indoctrinative. It's manipulative. And it's bad science. It's not science, folks. If you're honest, then you present both sides, including the findings that you think are proving your theory, but also the counter evidence, if it's not, it appears to be. That's science, and that's how science is supposed to be, especially about the question, where do we come from? That's why I'm presenting it to you, because you can regard us creationists as the peer review department of the total world science, to keep science pure. And this is what I want to share, and I will post the link of where you can find that movie where I 4 years ago read out this article. I've underlined it, translated and underlined it, so you can read along with me in that newspaper article. And if you don't believe me, go to NEMO Science Center in Amsterdam, go to Eindhoven University about this issue. I think that science should be fair and honest and presenting both presumably evidence, but also if it's not supported by evidence, then also the counter evidence. Both should be equally conveyed to the big media and to you as an individual, so that you can make a well-educated decision about what to believe, where we come from, and not presenting only one world view and, well, sneak away the counter evidence. Well, don't tell that too much people. That's what's happening right now in the regular science, including of the bicep 2 gravitational wave evidence, and including also the Urey Miller counter evidence. It's all pushed away. Well, don't tell too much, right? Just in the newspaper. Don't mention it too much. Yeah, that's not science, folks. That's not science, and I want to correct it. Okay, this is the message I want to convey to you. Propagate both sides. Okay, hasta luego. Thanks for watching, and yeah, see you again. Bye bye.